Hi everyone, MJ Klein here. I'm going to give you another update on Behringer World, and because I'm going to kind of do this as a regular thing, I guess I've got to do my studio intro. Now, for those of you who saw the last update, you know that we have been taking some serious actions to mitigate bot traffic, and there's some pretty interesting things that we've done. I've got an outline here, and I want to read it just so everybody understands. The document summarizes the bot mitigation measures implemented on Behringer World during August 2025. These actions were necessary due to a high volume of automated traffic overwhelming the site's bandwidth and functionality. Initial bot activity consumed a disproportionate amount of server resources and caused user experience degradation. And boy, that is an understatement. So here are the key actions that we took. We placed the site behind Cloudflare proxy services. And I have another site, livestreaming.technology. I did the same thing, and I enabled attack mode there because I wanted to see what the difference was between the two. Now, analysis of raw log files revealed abuser patterns based on request volume and region. On the last update, you may remember that I mentioned we had 24 million hits in the file. The log file was so big it couldn't be accurately, easily analyzed. And so this time the log files are significantly lower. And as a result, we're not using anywhere near the same amount of bandwidth. Now, it says here a managed IP block list was created and fed into a Cloudflare firewall rules. Now, this is important. Direct firewall rules were deliberately avoided to preserve control via the managed list. Okay, so in the firewall rules, if you build a firewall rule and base it on a managed list, then you can just keep adding bad actors to this managed list. And by doing so, you don't have to keep modifying the rule. You just add bad actors to the list. Believe it or not, we only have a total of 183 IP addresses. They were identified and confirmed as bad actors and added to the managed block list. And the problem is some of these bad actors had just tremendous numbers of hits and requests on the site, just for no good purpose. It's impossible for them to be legitimate. Results and observations. Bandwidth usage dropped significantly after implementing IP filtering. Files show that as of August 18th, 2025, bandwidth usage for Behringer World is at 4.80 gigabytes out of 24.41 allocated. So in other words, it's only 20%. This is a substantial improvement considering past usage trends. At one time, I had 160 gigabytes configured for the site, and it wasn't enough. So now we're at 4.8. All right. Traffic and live streaming technology also plummeted when attack mode and maintenance mode were combined. The new security model is proactive but not overly aggressive, resulting in high effectiveness without false positives. But I will say this, Cloudflare has sent me some suggestions. Of course, they want me to upgrade, and pay for the next tier. But they have sent me a few suggestions, and I'm going to look at them, but we are now out of emergency mode. That's the whole point. This is me. User has made a deliberate decision to block any IP responsible for tens of thousands of hits, regardless of perceived legitimacy, due to finite bandwidth. Nobody is taking tens of thousands of hits for anything good, right? So the next steps that we have here are that we're going to continue monitoring the log files for evolving usage patterns. On Monday, I uploaded the raw access files again and added more bad actors. This is why we have the number of 183 IP addresses that are completely blocked. So we're going to continue to monitor this. Periodic updates to the managed IP blacklist are recommended. This is what we're doing. And we're going to consider maybe Cloudflare Turnstile, which is another service, if, in fact, you know, it turns out that we need that mitigation. Now, I took a couple screenshots, and this is just the last 30 days, from July 20 to 19th of August. And the problem is we were offline quite a while, actually, in July. So this is not representative of the entire 30 days. We had unique visitors, 2.8 million. Total requests, 7.7 million. Percent cached, 28.72. So Cloudflare is helping a lot, but the total amount of data served was 99. Whoops, knocked my mic over. The total amount of data served was 99 gigabytes in the last 30 days. And the data cached was 28 gigabytes. Traffic the last 24 hours. Why don't you look at this? Traffic the last 24 hours. Look at this, man. Look at this. That's just crazy. 133.94K request in the last 24 hours. And mitigated by Cloudflare, that's 15,049. So like 15.49K, 15,490 in 24 hours that were mitigated by Cloudflare. They're really doing their thing. They are doing a good job. So we do have some suggestions they're going to make, but I have 2 detection rules and I have 5 custom rules running, and that's what we're doing. All right, so that is our bot mitigation strategy. What I want to talk about now is community. And this is really interesting because when I was doing research to figure out why Behringer World is just so unbelievably valuable, it turns out that sites that have a lot of engagement and aren't based around an entity, whether it's a single person or like a tech company or a group of writers, but rather an open forum where there's a large amount of interaction and it's really not limited to a handful of people. That's what makes it valuable. Really interesting, because during this whole thing, Behringer World was improperly attributed to me as my community, but it's not. It's an organic community. The organic community sprung up because of necessity. I stay out of it. I don't even get involved in the day-to-day administration of it. I'm not known for having a lot of answers to stuff. It's just not what I do in this particular case. So yeah, okay, no, there's nothing wrong with building a community, but say if you've got like a photography site, you know, soandso.com, there's a lot of those, right? Or maybe a tech site where they might have a staff of writers. Those people they're just putting out articles. They're just telling you what they think. They reviewed this camera, they reviewed this piece of equipment. And there's a lot of that. The vast majority of it's like that, actually. If you look at like how YouTube channels are run, it's one person doing what I'm doing right now. They're just talking to the camera. And usually the interaction is passive. They agree with something you said or they disagree with something you said. And they often aren't in the comment section to propose solutions. Okay? And that's not what Behringer World is. Behringer World is not me or any other individual or a staff of individuals just disseminating information, whatever it might be. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot of use for that and a lot of good for that, but that's not what this is. And this is not my community, it's you guys' community. And I just want to make that very clear. I did not do this site to be famous or be known or anything like that. I did this site because the original site didn't operate very well. And I tried to use it, and everybody else I know tried to use it, and they couldn't even find the comments that or the questions that they asked, so that's why I did it. So it is not my community, it is a worldwide community of Behringer equipment users, and that's why it's so valuable, because it can solve almost any problem that you have, and that's why I did it. So I want to thank everyone for joining, and I'll see you on the next update. And as soon as I get my studio built, I need a new room for videography. I'm going to be doing some studio stuff too, and then I will be just telling you my opinion about things. See, there is a place for that. You guys take care. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.